To watch the latest from India Science, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press on the bell icon to get notifications on all the science-related videos.
In our previous episodes, we've explored the various theories surrounding the origins of COVID-19. The most prominent one suggested that SARS-CoV-2 jumped to humans from an animal. The World Health Organization has now confirmed that humans can pass on COVID-19 to animals. I'm Nidhi Kumar and you're watching Science Time, a show that brings to you the best that science offers, from exciting developments in science and technology to futuristic solutions. So let's move on to story number 1. Many would know by now that a type of coronavirus causes COVID-19. Coronaviruses are a family of viruses. While some cause illnesses in people, others attack animals. India has confirmed reports of an outbreak of COVID-19 in several zoos, including the Chennai Zoo, where 9 lions contracted the infection. This came to light after a 9-year-old lioness named Neela died after showing COVID-19 symptoms. And following this, 11 lions at the zoo were tested. 3 of these samples had the Delta variant. However, 7 out of the 9 infected lions survived. A few pets, including cats and dogs, have caught COVID-19. Perhaps after being exposed to an infected human. I'm sure this could be worrying for pet lovers. But here's what you can do. Do not let your dog or cat interact with people or animals outside your household. And if you get COVID-19 yourself, avoid petting, snuggling, being kissed or licked, and sharing food or bedding with your pet. And if your pet tests positive for COVID-19, follow the same precautions you would if a family member became infected. Isolate your pet in a separate room at home. Most pets so far have experienced very mild symptoms of COVID-19. India has recorded only 2 confirmed cases of animal death due to the disease so far. Well, for now, based on the limited information available, the risk of animals spreading SARS-CoV-2 to people is considered low. Animals thus far don't appear to play a significant role in spreading the virus. Moreover, there is no evidence that viruses can spread to people or other animals from a pet's skin, fur or hair. These facts should help address most concerns, but we need more studies before drawing any conclusions. And let's move on to story number 2. It looks like COVID-19 is here to stay. Even if it does disappear by some miracle, the world's troubles are unlikely to go away. The United Nations recently warned of a pandemic in the making. What's worse, we don't have vaccines to save us from it. The UN was talking about how droughts are on the verge of becoming the next pandemic. A recent United Nations report draws attention to drought risks and how it impacts people, economies and ecosystems. Droughts occur when a region receives below normal rain or snow in a period. This could cause water shortage, reduce soil moisture or groundwater and damage crops. So far, drought has directly affected 1.5 billion people this century, and the number is likely to go up dramatically if we do nothing to address this problem. The report highlighted how human-induced climate change increases the frequency, severity and duration of droughts in many regions across the world. The report estimates that the impact of severe droughts on India's GDP to be about 2.5% per annum. In India, it added that the Deccan Plateau is at a higher risk due to a frequency of droughts. Rapid growth in urban areas has stressed groundwater reserves and now they're drying up. Overdependence on groundwater resources and lack of water retaining structures have made Indian cities significantly more vulnerable in rural regions. Farmers are facing the brunt as agriculture primarily depends on rainfall. In 2019, the water scarcity crisis drove villagers to abandon their homes in Maharashtra and Karnataka. India is not alone in the crisis. From 1998 to 2017, droughts have led to economic losses of at least US $124 billion across the world. Most of the world will be living with water stress in the next few years. Drought manifests over months, years, sometimes decades, and the results are felt just as long, according to a United Nations report. The United Nations has recommended that preventing droughts have lower financial and environmental costs than responding to it. So, we're hoping governments across the world wake up to the crisis and get their act together. Moving forward to story number 3. And plastics are in the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink. Every minute, 1 million plastic bottles are purchased across the world. Sure, these synthetic materials have proven to make our lives convenient, but this is hurting the environment. Recycling plastics is a solution, but 95% of these materials lose their value after a single use. So, what can be done? Can we turn to upcycling, which is converting plastic waste into a better quality material? Well, scientists from the University of Edinburgh have given us reason to cheer. They use genetically engineered bacteria to convert plastics into vanilla flavoring, the compound that primarily gives your vanilla ice cream its characteristic smell and flavor is vanillin. It is extracted from the vanilla bean. Vanillin also finds use in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, cleaning products and herbicides. In 2018, the global demand for this compound was about 40,800 tons. It is expected to grow to 65,000 tons by 2025, the researchers said in their study. But as the demand for vanillin shot up, we began synthetically manufacturing it. According to a report, about 85% of vanillin is currently produced from chemicals and fossil fuels. This new study from the University of Edinburgh potentially provides solutions to 2 problems: plastic pollution and vanillin production. Let's now look at their study. The researchers fed the genetically engineered bacteria with terephthalic acid or TA. TA is an essential raw material used in producing polyethylene terephthalate or PET. Almost every bottle is made of PET. By the end of the experiment, the bacteria turned 79% of the TA into vanillin. The engineered bacteria could pull this off thanks to similarities in chemical composition between vanillin and terephthalic acid. According to the study, it only had to make minor changes to the number of hydrogens and oxygens bonded to the carbon backbone. And now researchers are planning to hasten the conversion of TA into vanillin. And this is pretty exciting. And with this is a wrap on this edition of Science Time. Please stay safe by masking up, following social distancing, and take good care of your health. And remember, vaccinate, vaccinate, and vaccinate. On that note, many thanks for watching. Namaskar.